let's try to understand few more things. Let's understand how to create database. How to create database in the MongoDB server. That is what we have to understand. Now, if you remember, in last class, we have installed one MongoDB server. This was our MongoDB server. Now, I told that in this MongoDB server, we can create any number of databases. I can create any number of databases. Database 1, like this, I can have database 2. I can have database 3. I can have database 4. Any number of databases I can create. So how to create these databases? Let's try to understand. So for that, first you open your command prompt. You have to open your command prompt. Then to connect with our MongoDB server, just add the command mongo shell and press on enter button. So directly you will be connected with the MongoDB server. Clear your terminal. Now here, we have to use a command called use and then your database name. Suppose I want to create a database with the name something called 2223. So you have to use a command use space your database name. So I'm using database name as a DB2324. 2223. Press on enter button. The moment you press on enter button, your database is created. And what is your database name? Your database name is DB2223. And we have switched to our database also. We have switched to our database. So how to create a database? For that, we have to simply use a command use space your database name. Your database name. That's it. This is the simple command we have to use to create database. Now internally it will create the database with this name. Like this, you can create any number of databases. Now, if you want to check whether your database is created or not, you can use a command show DBs. Whenever you use the command show DBs, it will show all the databases that you have created. So in my case, the moment I press on enter button, you will see the list of all the databases. The list of all the databases are visible here. But if you see, our database is not visible because our database, we are starting with DB and we don't have anything called DB2223 here. Now, why our database is not listed? Because if you want to list your database, then you have to create one collection. You should have at least one collection in your database. You have to create minimum one collection in your database. Like this, we can create any number of collections in our databases. So how to create collection? Create collection. Now to create collection, we have to use the command that is db.create collection. You have to call a function called create collection. And whatever collection name you want to pass, you can pass that collection name. So here you have to pass the collection. So at least one collection should be available in your database if you want to list it. So already we created the database. Now, if you see, we are in our database, it is pointing to our database. Now here we have to use the command db.create collection. And this is a function. See, here db is an object and this is a function. Create collection is a function. And to this function, we have to pass our collection name as an argument. For example, I want to create users collection. So I will pass the collection name is users. The moment I press on enter button, here if you get like this OK1, it means successfully you have created a collection. Now, if you try to check show DBs, then it should list your database. Now see, it is listing our database. So if you want to list your database, at least one collection should be available. Now, like this, I can create any number of databases. Suppose I want to create one more database. I will say I will say dummy 22, 23. I'm creating one more database with the name called dummy 22, 23 DB. If I press on enter button, that database is created and we have switched to that database. Now in that, let's create at least one collection. So here I am creating one collection called products. Now if I press on enter, one collection is created. Now if I say show DBs, you will see that database is created, dummy 22, 23 DB. So how to create collection? For that, we are going to use this command. And for creating database, we are going to use this. And to list all the databases, for that, we are going to use the command show DBs. Now, if you want to list collections, list all the collections in the database. For that, we will be using a command show collections. Show collections. So if I go to this database, so right now we are in the DB 22, 23 DB. I want to check how many collections are there. So I will say show collections. Right now we have only one collection, that is products. If I want, I can create one more collection. I will say here something called carts. I will create one more. I will say payments. Like this, I can create any number of collections. Now here, if I say show collections, it will show all the collections. Cards, payments, products. It is showing all the collections. Like this, it's completely our wish how many collections we want to create in that databases and how to list all the collections. These are the commands we have to use. Now in MongoDB, you have to learn these commands only. So like this, there are thousands of commands in Node.js, in MongoDB. There are thousands of commands in the MongoDB. Now you have to just learn all these commands. So for creating database, for creating collection, for showing databases, for showing collections. Now, right now we are in the dummy 22, 23 DB. Suppose I want to switch to my other database. Then you have to use again that command only, use and your database name. So DB 22, 23. So if this database is not present, it will create the database with this name and it will switch. If already database is present, it will just switch to that database. Now here also we can say show collections. It will show you the collection. Now you want to find out you are exactly pointing to which database. You are in which database. Just type DB. It will show you are pointing or you are in which database. By seeing here also we can identify, but still if you want to list, just type DB. It will list out the current database in which you are. Now we know how to create database. Right now we created one database. In that database, we are able to create collection. So we are able to create collection. Now inside this collection, we have to add documents. We have to add documents. We have to add documents. Document 1, document 2, document 3. And inside the document, our data will be present. Now let's assume that I have a users collection. In that users collection, I want to store some 2 users information. I want to store 2 users information. So if I go back here, if I just clear it, if I say show collections, Now it will show the collection name users. Now just it's an empty collection. Right now we don't have any data in this. I want to add some data. So fifth is insert the data. Insert the data in the collection. Now how to insert the data in the collection? For that, we have a function called db dot your collection name dot. You have to call one function called insert one. You have to call a function called insert one. And here you have to pass one object. And in that object, you define some properties. So for example, name yes1 I am saying, here ID 101 I am saying, and here maybe I will add gender. I will say here something like male. So what we are doing now, this will be considered as a document. This is your document. So this document we are adding in this collection, So how to do? So here we have to use db dot our collection name is users dot insert one. This is the function we have to call db dot users dot insert one. And here, whatever document you have to add, that document you have to pass as an argument. So I want to add name as a Raj and gender, I will add as a male. Now, if you press on enter button, this document will be added in that collection. So here you get acknowledged as true and inserted ID. So right now you are adding only two properties, nothing but two fields, field 1, field 2. Internally, MongoDB will create one field called underscore ID. Internally, MongoDB will create one unique field called underscore ID, and it will add that underscore ID field inside this document. So right now we have added two fields, but internally MongoDB is adding one more field called underscore ID. So this document will contain totally three fields. Like this, I can add one more. So this time here, I will say something like Rani and here female. I can add one more. I can say something like Vishnu and here gender male. I can add one more. I can say Vinayak and here male I will add. Like this, see, I have added lot of documents now. Now I want to check all the documents. I want to access all the documents. Sixth step. Access all the documents from the collection. From whichever collection you want to access the documents, for that we have to use db dot our collection name dot find function. We have to use a function called find. Now see db dot our collection name is users dot find. I will say the moment I say find, it will show me all the collections. So it is printing one array. If you see, it is printing one array. In that array, all the documents are available. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you see, underscore ID is added. So this field is added by MongoDB. So for every document, underscore ID will be added. And the value of underscore ID will be unique. It's like a primary key in our structured database. So every document will have one unique key, one unique property or one unique field called underscore ID. We added only two, but internally MongoDB is creating this underscore ID field. So like this we can add. Now here if I want, I can add one more. Now here if I say underscore ID, if I add explicitly underscore ID 101, in that see, inserted ID is 101. Now if I try to access, so it is saying already there. Let me just call find. Now see, underscore ID value is 10. So if you are adding explicitly underscore ID, then your value will be taken. If you are not adding, then MongoDB will create. MongoDB will create. So however you want, you can add this. Suppose you want to access any one document. Then we have a predefined function called find one. Now, which document you want to access? That document, at least one field you have to add. Suppose if I say underscore ID 101, it will give me only that document. If I say here gender male, then the first encountered, if I say if I use find one and here I am passing gender male, then it will encounter, it will give me the object which is the first gender male. In your collection, you added lot of document. Whichever document will be triggered first, that document response it will give to us. But suppose we want all the documents whose gender is male. In that case, instead of find one, we have to go with find. We can go with find, we can add a document and we can say gender male. It means we are saying that from this collection, you give me all those documents in which gender is male. In which gender is male. So the moment I just press enter, it will give me all the documents whose gender is male. If you don't pass anything, to this find function, it will return all the documents. So you have here female also, you have male also. You have male, male, male. You have only one female. Suppose if you say, if you pass here, gender should be female, then it will return only one. So it will return only that document whose gender is female. This is how it works. Understood, guys? Access all documents from the collection. Access one specific document. If you want to access only one document, then you have to use find one. And you have to pass here one object and you have to pass the field. Based on which field you want to find. Understood how to create database, how to create collection, how to list all the database, list collections, how to insert the data, how to access the data. If you want to remove the data, if you want to remove any data, then for that we have a function db dot collection name dot delete one, and you can delete. Here you can pass any unique field. You can pass any unique field. It is going to delete your document. See here. Right now, if I say find, it will print all documents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last document is this one. I want to remove this. How to remove this? For that, db dot collection name dot delete one we have to say. And we have to pass one object and we have to pass that unique key. If I pass this, it will delete. So deleted count is 1. Now again, if I try to access, you will see that that document is removed. That document is removed. Suppose I want to remove all the documents whose gender is male. I want to remove all the documents whose gender is male. In that case, we can use a function called delete many. Delete many. And here you can pass this one as a gender, and here you can pass male. Now see, deleted count is 3. Now if I try to access, I have only one document, that is female. So remove one document is delete one. If you have a requirement to remove multiple documents, then you have to use the command db dot collection name dot delete many, and you have to pass a document in which one field is common. So the field which is common in all the documents, those documents will be removed. Like this, if you see, we can add insert one document. If you want, you can insert multiple documents also. Insert multiple documents. So if you want to insert multiple documents, for that again we have db dot collection dot insert many. The function name is insert many. Now this insert many will take the first argument as an array. It will take one array, and in that array you have to mention your documents. Multiple documents you have to mention. So right now if you see, in our users we have only one document, and that too only female. We have only female. I want to add multiple documents. So I will say db dot users dot insert many. Then I will pass one array, and in that I will define the documents. So here I am passing underscore ID 101, comma name, I will say yes1, comma one more underscore ID, I will say 102, name, I will say yes2. Like this, I can pass one more underscore ID 103, name, yes3. So here, let's see if it is added or not. So here we got duplicate key error. Here 102, 102, right? That's issue. So when you are using underscore ID, you cannot pass duplicate keys. So here I have to say 3. Okay, now let's see. Let's first find how many documents are there. So right now already 1 and 2 are added. I just want to add one more. So what I will do now here, I will make it 3. I will make it 4. I will make it 5. Here also, I will change the name to S5. Here S4, S3. See, this underscore ID should be unique. Remaining values, you can have same values. For example, for 103, name can be S3, and for 104 also I can add name as a S3. Only underscore ID field value should be unique. Now see, if I run this, find, all are added. So at a time, multiple documents we are able to add. So underscore ID value should be unique. You cannot repeat. You cannot have the same values for underscore ID. For remaining, you can have. Here, if you see, for this also S3, for this also S3, it works. But ID value should be unique. Like this, we can add multiple values also. Now, sometimes you get a requirement to update the value. You want to update. So how to update the document? Now, if you want to update the document, then you have function db dot collection name dot update. you have to call update one function. And this update one function will take two arguments. The first argument is which document you want to update. So that field you have to pass. Second, your updated value you have to pass. So second argument will be again object. Now here to update the value, we have to use one operator. In MongoDB, we have a lot of operators. In that one operator is $set. So in MongoDB, anything starts with dollar, it is called operator. So this syntax we have to follow. So second argument should be object. In that we have to use this $set operator. Again, its value should be one more object. And in that we have to pass our updated field. This is how the syntax is for update. So two arguments. First argument is object, which document you want to update with what value you want to update. So if I go back here, suppose I want to update this 104. Right now the name is S3. I want it to be S4. For 104, I want name to be S4. So what I will do, db.users.update1. Now it will take two arguments. The first one is object, second one is also object. Now in first object, which field you want to update, which document you want to update, that document unique field you have to pass. So I will pass underscore ID 104. So I'm saying that I want to update the document whose ID is 104. With what value you want to update or which field you want to update. So for that, we have to use one operator called $set, whose value should be one more object. And in that, we will say, I want to update name with the value S4. Yes. Now, if I say done, now if you will see that matched count is 1, modified count is also 1. So it is matching and it is updating. Now here, if I say find, now you should see 104 name is S4. It's a yes. So in this way, we can update any specific document. So if I go with your syllabus, that Quality Thought has given to you, as per that syllabus, this is the MongoDB syllabus. Whatever I have taught, this is the MongoDB syllabus as per your syllabus. It means within 2 days, I can finish MongoDB. That much less content was available in your old syllabus. In your old syllabus, just how to create database, how to create collections, how to perform CRUD operation, means how to add new data, how to access, how to update, how to delete. That's it. Apart from that, there was nothing in your syllabus. So this was your syllabus for MongoDB. But I won't go follow that syllabus. I will be covering a lot of extra topics for you. Okay, because these are not enough for cracking the interviews. So as per your syllabus, backend I can finish within 1 week. Backend development I can finish only in 1 week. That much syllabus you have. Only that much syllabus you have. Entire backend I can finish only in 1 week. Okay. Now we will see how to learn remove part. If you want to remove database, for that you have one simple command. That is db.drop database. If you say db.drop database, your database will be dropped. If you want to delete your database, now for that we have very simple command. db.drop database. So delete database. So how to remove or delete database? For that, the command is db dot, I think db dot drop database. This is the function you have to call. Here D should be capital. So if I go back here, if I say show DBs, now here we have this DB, dummy 2223 DB. I want to remove this DB. So what we need to do first, we have to switch to that DB. So we have to say use dummy 2223 DB. And then we have to use the command db dot drop database. Now it will give message drop your database. Now if you say show DBs, now you won't find that dummy DB now. You don't have here dummy DB. If you want to delete collections, you can delete collections also. So how to delete collections? For that, you have a command. That is db dot drop collection. You have to just pass your collection. So in this, if you see, shows like here we don't have now, use db 2223. I will switch here. I will say show collections. We have users collection. I want to create some more collections. db dot create collection. I will say here carts. I will add here dummy. Like this, I created 3 collections now. If I say show collections, 3 collections it will show. Now I want to remove the collection. So for that, db dot drop collection. Which collection you want to remove? For example, dummy. So let's check this is the only function name or not. If not, we will check documentation. So here it is saying drop collection is not a function. Then in that case, it might be only drop. Drop is not a function. So now here I am not able to recall what is the function name. In that case, what we have to do, go to the documentation, check it. So go to the MongoDB documentation. And here just check how to remove collection. Now here somewhere we should get. Yeah. So db dot collection dot drop. This is the function name we have to use. So whenever you find that you are not able to recall your function name or a syntax to remove, then you have to go to their documentation and you have to check. So it is saying that just use this command db dot collection dot drop. So what do you need to do now? db, which collection you want to remove? Cart. First, let me just check what are the collections we have. Carts we have. So db dot carts dot drop. Now here you got true. It means this collection is removed. Now here if I say show collection or show collections, it will show only 2 collections. I want to remove dummy also. So db dot dummy dot drop. Clear it. Just say show collections. It will show the users. So how to remove the collection? Just for that, simply you have to use the command db dot collection name dot drop. Remove collection. db dot collection name dot prop. So 13 commands we know. Like this, how many commands you have? More than 1000 plus. Just now we learned only 13 commands. Like this, you have more than 1000 plus. Now, as a human, as a developer, you cannot remember all this. Now, when you cannot remember all this, for that, they have given the documentation. So you have to go to their documentation and you have to use it. Now, if you go to their documentation, everything you will find here. So here, if you see, this many functions are there. This many functions are available. Yeah, you can do anything, everything you can do. Just go and through documentation and check. If they have given that functionality, delete it. If they did not given, then whatever they have given, we have to use that. So right now you can remove only one collection at a time. So this many functions are there, see. Now under cursor also you have this many. Under user management also you have this many. Sharding you have this many. So what you have to do now? As a developer, you have to explore all this. You have to sit and you have to explore all this. Every day you have to select few and you have to learn their documentation. They have given the syntax, they have given the example. You have to read this documentation, understand and learn. This is how, as a developer, you have to start exploring the things. So now we know how to remove the collection. So these are the basic things, at least what we should know. If you want to learn more commands, go to the documentation, check it, explore it, learn it. That is how things will. Okay. Now what you guys have to do, now I will update this document. Everybody has to sit and practice all this. So this Monday, you have mock interview. Okay. And in last class, I told you, right? Your mock interviews on